The Church Planting Peer Mentoring Group is a group that meets with people who have planted churches, people who are planting churches, and people who are learning to plant churches all together on a monthly basis so that we can learn from each other, encourage each other, and be able to come together and understand best practices in reaching neighborhoods around us for Christ.
It was just so crucial to us that we make sure that we are concerned with what God's concerned about, which isn't our own local church, it's His church in the city. And so to be able to go to this group, and especially because they're excited about church planting anyways, was a blessing to us because it reminded us and hopefully was a sign to them that we're here for the good of the kingdom.
It's been a lot of fun to build relationships, to hear common struggles, to hear common joys, to pray together, to strategize together, to kind of go, well, we're kind of all in the same boat, and there's those moments where you're like, yeah, this is tough.
Sometimes you hear stories, and I have church planting friends I talk to, and their enemies in the city are the other churches that should be their #1 cheerleaders. And so for us to be able to plant with the support of these other churches and to tell my friends that are planting, well, you know, the other churches in our city that are established actually sit down with us, and every month we talk about church planting, and they give us mentors, and they ask, how can we help you out financially with space? How can we bless you? I mean, to me, the idea of that is so strong, and in practice, it's been amazing.
So I just love the conversation, and I'm delighted to pass on some of the experiences that I've had so that some of these guys don't trip and fall because they didn't know not to do this, to do that instead.
I've benefited because some of the conversations that, Lane especially has led have asked pointed questions and asked us where we're at, and some just good follow-up discussions about how we might break through some of the challenges, or just hearing from others what they're doing. I think it sparks creativity and ideas and prayer.
Probably one of the ways that benefited the most from the group, aside from just getting together and having contact, is being able to make a relationship with one other church planter. So Purnell, who planted the freeway 10 years ago, and we sit down about once a week and we talk about church planting, and to have that regular touchdown of somebody who knows what it feels like to be part of a church plant and who's been doing it for a little while has been incredibly beneficial. So
I'm at New City Church, and we are in the Locke Street area, currently renting at Melrose United Church in their sanctuary. And my wife Brenda and I moved to Hamilton with our family 3.5 years ago, spring 2007. Spent some time developing a core group to get the church off the ground, and then we launched into services first week in October in 2008.
New City has an exciting vision of embracing the city and being involved in the city and changing the city ultimately through the gospel. So it was that vision that really led myself and our family to New City.
And it just so happened the first service was in a park, Beulah Park, downtown, and we were just like sitting on the grass. There's probably 12 of us in a circle. We were worshiping, reading the Word of God, while families were in the park playing with children. And I just looked around and I was like, wow, church can be like this. What an accessible place to know people.
So the name of our church plant is EUCHARIST Church, and we've been around since early September, and a bit before that, just getting people together and talking, and actually for a long while before that too, just sort of dreaming with core group of people, and to sort of see that get going is amazing. We've been meeting for the last couple months in like fashion studio / photography studio off of Gage Park.
The last 4 months have been really exciting on a lot of different levels, and personally for myself, I feel like I finally found a group of people of the same faith that have the same goals. But I think as a community, I've never seen a group of people come in as strangers who click and connect so quickly and become real family and friends.
My husband and I had been going to an awesome church before, but it wasn't in our neighborhood. And when Eucharist kind of came to be, it was the perfect fit for us. I work here, I'm here all the time. It's kind of nice to be part of the community, in the community, so it was an easy choice.
Church planting is part of the DNA of Houston Street Baptist Church. And so this group has benefited us greatly so that we can learn best practices from other planters across the city, and so that our church planters and our church planting interns can be exposed to those that are planting churches in other locations, in order that we can learn best practices from each other, encourage each other, and see a passion for people outside of the kingdom ignited between us.
So the irony is that as a result of our interacting, collaborating with lots of ongoing TrueCity church plants, is we're going to relearn how to plant churches at Philpott. And we're going to learn from the people who are actually doing it on the ground.
And so it's been it's been encouraging, it's been frustrating, and it's been really good for me and for our church plant to be a part of that peer group.
Because the way it's being done, we're building collaborative DNA. So these churches that are under the umbrella of TrueCity voluntarily are learning from the get-go, from the beginning, that collaboration is a pathway to success.